It is time for Rich Rebel Sports on 98.3 KADQ and MyLocalRadio.com. Rebel Sports brought to you in part by the Rich School District, Evanston Regional Hospital, Ready, West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, the Come On In, the Station on Main, Les Schwab Plains Tire, Stacy's Repair, Summit Pizza, Little Springs Water, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, Ellingford Brothers, Hometown Drive-In, the Town of Woodruff, T7 Propane, Bear Lake Realty, Independent Software Solutions, McKay Frankham DDS, and the Crawford Trough. Let's go to the Les Schwab Plains Tire broadcast booth and join the voice of the Rebels, Aaron Poling.
We are live from Tabiona, Utah, as the Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team hits the road on a little bit of a winning streak as they take on the Tabiona Tigers. A rematch from last Friday where the Rebels were able to sweep the Tabiona Tigers at home. I'm Aaron Poling. Thank you for joining us as we are just moments away from the start of this game. It is time for the Summit Pizza Company pregame show. As when we come back, we will set the scene for today's matchup. You are watching 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at MyLocalRadio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ.
When pizza is calling your name, order a Summit Pizza. With homemade dough and all fresh ingredients, every pizza is a culinary masterpiece. Owners Thad and Melissa Willis are Rich High School alumni. They continue the Rebel tradition of excellence and service. Feed your taste buds, feel the happiness with a fresh homemade pizza from Summit Pizza. Don't forget the Doodles, a Summit Pizza original creation. Summit Pizza, 70 West Logan Road, Garden City.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels.
If you've never heard a mechanic say they truly care, then you've been at the wrong place. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff is a family-owned and operated business open since 1992. Offering all types of maintenance and repair services, you can be sure your vehicle is operating at its best. Whether your vehicle is older or the newest model, gas or diesel, we fix and maintain them all. Also offering chip repair, windshield replacement, and tires. When your vehicle needs a mechanic, bring it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth, as it is time for your Little Springs Water scene set for today's action. Rebels come in 6-5 as they've gone on a winning streak. Make that a 3-game winning streak as they look to extend that. Wins over Tabiona last week, Altamont as well as beating Wendover yesterday. So the Rebels are coming in on a little bit of a roll. They found their mojo. They're finding their groove, and and this is kind of where you see some of those tough games they played at Cokeville starting to pay off, where you get to really grind it out against a really good team, and you come to play some teams that are a little more your size. And some teams, the Rebels are just going to flat out talent, and we've seen that so far the last 3 games. Rebels looking to go on the road here in Tabiona, as this is a tough place to play. Last year, I know they left here unhappy with the way they played against the Tigers, as they're looking to rebound this year, as they did get the sweep last year. And this year, they're looking to do the same and continue their winning streak, looking for 4 in a row, as when we come back, we'll hear from Violet Taylor. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at MyLocalRadio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Rich Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
When you need automotive service on your car, truck, semi, or tractor, call Clay and the team at J-Bar Auto in Randolph. J-Bar Auto also offers competitive pricing on tires for all vehicles. Call or stop by J-Bar Auto today.
With this week's T7 Propane Standout Student of the Week, that's Violet Taylor. Violet, how you doing today?
Good.
You guys coming off a pretty good week where you take care of Tabiona and Altamont as they are two of your conference rivals. What does it feel like to get back on the winning side of things?
It's really kind of a pick-me-up from the last few games, and we just, it's nice to win again, you know?
So you guys have a really tough schedule to start every single year with the Cokeville Invitational, and you guys set it up that way on purpose, and it makes you guys better as a team. What positives have you seen from the Cokeville Invitational?
Some very smart people that I know always say that you learn more from losing than you do from winning. I think that's very true in this situation. That's why we put it there. Is we hope to win, but we don't expect to win every single game, and that's why we go to learn.
So you guys did get back on the winning side. It's your senior year, a little bit more of a leadership role from you this year. Can you talk about some of the adjustments you've had to make from being a junior coming into your senior year?
It is hard because we had some really good leadership last year, and it was good to learn from them, but it is different being a leader now in that position. But I think that we've come into it really well, all of us, and that we've created a really cool team culture.
For last year, at least, your dad was the principal, and it's kind of a different dynamic that not a lot of kids are going to get in their high school career where one of their parents is the principal. Now that he has moved on, what's it like been for you for these first week and a half where, he's not there?
I miss him sometimes. It's nice to have him there and just him to be in the school and we can discuss things that have been happening. But it's been cool also to see what it's been like. There's pluses and minuses to both situations. So
senior year, it's go time for you. What do you want to accomplish here in your senior year? You've accomplished a ton as an athlete, as an academic. What more do you want to accomplish?
I think this year is kind of about enjoying what I have left in this high school, but also realizing that this isn't the end and that this is just the beginning of my life. So there's also a piece of that getting ready for what I want to do after high school. So
any thoughts or, plans that you have so far? You technically are the fastest woman in the Utah State history.
I don't know about that, but mostly I want to focus on my education after I graduate from Rich High School and maybe pursue some athletics, but that's not the priority right now. So
one last thing for you. What should the world know about V Swizzle, Violet Taylor?
That she's ready to make some waves.
We want to thank Violet Taylor for being a part of today's T7 Propane Standout Student of the Week interview on the Summit Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Janelle Wasden.
When you have an emergency, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. Open 24/7, the professional emergency room staff is trained for trauma, medical, cardiac, pediatric, orthopedic, and obstetric emergencies. Bear Lake Memorial is a critical access level 3 trauma center, offering immediate access to radiology, lab services, surgery, and internal medicine consults. The ER teams are well-trained professionals who are ready to act. When you have an emergency, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
The team at T7 Propane in Woodruff is always cheering for the Rich Rebels, in sports, in the classroom, and in life. For quality professional propane service, call T7 Propane in Woodruff, 435-793-4208. When you're hungry for an amazing breakfast just like Grandma used to make, visit our bakery on Main Street in Randolph. We hand make fresh pastries for you to enjoy. Supporting the Rich Rebels and thanking you for your business, visit our bakery today.
Ready is committed to providing superior services to our customers by requiring individual accountability for excellence in quality, safety, and dependability. We are a growing company that is currently hiring across Wyoming, Colorado, Texas, Nevada, Idaho, and elsewhere. Our valued team members receive competitive wages, full benefits, and weekly pay. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
The Rich Rebels varsity volleyball coach, that's Coach Nell Wasden. And Coach, you guys went 2-1 last week, and you guys got a little bit of your mojo back, but also made some adjustments. Can you just talk about the weekend that was in Rich volleyball?
Yeah, so we had a tough team at Bear Lake on Thursday, and they were a great team, but it also helped us see where we needed to make some changes, and had some younger girls step up the rest of the weekend and help us out. So it was a good weekend for us, learning-wise, and to get some wins under our belt.
So with the whirlwind of the season going, we haven't really talked about one of the biggest storylines around your team, and that's losing senior Nia Jolly. What is losing her? What has that done for this team? I mean, it's obviously given more players an opportunity to step up, but it had to have been an adjustment period.
Yeah, for sure, an adjustment. She was a huge block for us on that opposite side, and she also just brought an incredible energy to the team, so we have definitely missed her. So we've had to do some adjusting and had to have players step up.
You guys seem like you found your stride against Tabiona as well as Altamont. What adjustments did you guys make, and what did you see out of your team that was lacking before those 2 games?
I think the biggest thing is we've got people playing their strengths now. Hannah served incredible against Altamont. We've got Paige Smith as our libero right now, and she has incredible ball control, and we needed some of that in our defense and in our passing. So just a few tweaks, and allowing Cassidy Argyle to come in, play that back row so we could get Hannah using her strengths more was beneficial.
So upcoming this week, you guys have Wendover as well as Tabiona in the rematch. What do you guys have to do to continue to build on what you found this week?
I think we just have to keep working on what we can do better, because we just definitely have some improvements to make. Tabby's going to come out strong in their home court, and we don't know what Wendover looks like, but I'm sure they've got players that'll do a great job. So I just want to make sure we're improving every week. There's always things that we can improve on. So if we show up in practice, hopefully we can show up this weekend and get a couple more wins.
I want to talk about going to Tabiona because it's a rivalry game in that gym. It just seems the fans are relentless on the players of the opposite team. They're right on top of you. What do you have to do to get your girls ready?
I think just make sure we're mentally tough, and if we practice hard this week and help them have confidence in their own skills, I think they can go in even with a relentless crowd.
I want to thank Coach Nell Wasden for being a part of our today's Bear Lake Memorial Coaches Show, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital's Coaches Show, that is, in the Summit Pizza pregame show. When we come back, we'll have your keys to tonight's matchup.
When you're experiencing pain from an injury or pain for an unknown reason, it can negatively impact how you function every day. It's good to know that individually supervised physical therapy is available at Evanston Regional Hospital. From athletes to seniors, we assist patients with personalized treatment plans. We offer a broad range of therapies, including cardiac rehab, post-surgical rehab, concussion recovery, and sports rehab. Ask your family doctor if physical therapy is right for you, or call one of our therapy departments directly. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. You always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today, 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
The town of Garden City is home to beautiful Bear Lake, where families play together. We welcome you to Garden City and invite you to visit bearlake.org for places to explore and information on upcoming events year-round. The town of Garden City welcomes you as we cheer on the Rich Rebels.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth, as it is time for your Ellingford Brothers Keys to today's matchup for the Rebels. Keep rolling, keep playing the way they have been playing, as they have continued a winning streak coming into this match. They're looking to push it to 4, as they have gotten much better as region play has come along. I don't even know if you can say much better, but they grinded out that really tough Cokeville tournament, and I think they're starting to see the fruits of their labor. We come back, we'll meet your 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team, as you are tuned into that Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
When pizza is calling your name, order a Summit Pizza. With homemade dough and all fresh ingredients, every pizza is a culinary masterpiece. Owners Thad and Melissa Willis are Rich High School alumni. They continue the Rebel tradition of excellence and service. Feed your taste buds, feel the happiness with a fresh homemade pizza from Summit Pizza. Don't forget the Doodles, a Summit Pizza original creation. Summit Pizza, 70 West Logan Road, Garden City.
You hear that? That's the sound your new water makes just before it gets to your bottle. You see, at Little Spring Water, they don't add a thing. It's the purest, cleanest, and healthiest water you could possibly drink. It's nature in a bottle. Little Spring Water is a family-owned and operated bottled water company right here in Utah. Nestled in a beautiful canyon in Bear Lake, this spring has been in the family for 5 generations, and now it can be in yours as well. It's high-quality premium drinking water packaged in a durable, recyclable bottle that won't spill or crack on you and can be refilled multiple times. No chemicals, no additives, just pure, clean, healthy water. And because Little Spring Water is local, you can get it at a fraction of the cost. Look for Little Spring Water at a grocery store near you. If you don't see it, ask your grocer for it by name. Little Spring Water. It's nature in a bottle.
Hi, I'm Casey Wilson. I am going to be a senior this year, and I will be playing varsity setter.
Hi, my name is Naya Jolly. I'm going to be varsity opposite, which is right side, and I'll be a senior.
I'm Janie Valentine. I'm going to be a senior, and I will be a middle blocker on varsity.
My name is Hannah Scott. I'm going to be a senior, and I am playing varsity outside hitter.
Good, it's your girl Violet Taylor, aka V Swizzle, and this year I'll be playing varsity outside.
Hey, I'm Haiti Pugmeyer. I'm going to be a senior, and I'm playing middle blocker on varsity.
Hey, I'm Brinley Hatch. I'm going to be a junior this year, and I play middle blocker.
Hi, I'm Cassie Argyle. I'm going to be a junior this year, and I play outside hitter.
Hi, my name is Leah Peterson, and I'm going to be a sophomore, and I'm playing outside hitter.
Bella Wheeler. I'm a sophomore. I'm probably going to play opposite.
Paige Smith, sophomore, outside hitter.
My name is Tyler Pugmeyer. I'll be a sophomore, and I'm playing middle.
I'm Tess Cornia. I'm a sophomore, and I'm a setter.
I'm Avery Weston. I'm a sophomore, and I play opposite.
I'm Braylon Pugmeyer. I'm a freshman. I'll be playing outside hitter.
I'm Lacey McKinnon, and I'm a freshman, and I'm going to be middle hitter.
I'm Molly Weston, and I'm a freshman, and I'll be playing outside hitter.
I'm Jalen Lutz. I'm going to be a freshman, and I'm a setter.
My name is Lida Taylor. I'm going to be a freshman, and I want to play middle hitter.
My name is Kelsey Heiner. I'm going to be a freshman, and I'm going to be back left.
I'm Chaisley Levitt, and I'm going to be a freshman, and I think I'm going to play JV, in middle hitter.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Starting lineup for your Rich Rebels: number 7, Ava Ellsworth; number 9, Casey Wilson; number 21, Janie Walentine; number 15, the libero, Paige Smith; number 40, Haiti Pugmeyer; number 41, Hannah Scott; for the Tabiona Tigers, number 3, Cheyenne Jensen; number 4, Cicely Fabrizio; number 11, Macy Rhodes; number 12, Adiana Allred. And number 20, number 13, Peyton Pippi. And number 20, Jazelyn Jenkins. Or make that Emery Webb as we get a late change to the lineup, as we're going to move along to our live cam as we are about ready to go. Rebels come into this matchup 4-0 in region. The Tabiona Tigers 3-2, coming off a loss last night to the Manila Mustangs. And the Manila Mustangs, once again, I think they're one of the better underrated teams in Utah, as I think they're going to put it all together and be a very solid team coming late in the season. I wouldn't be surprised about this Tabiona team, as it is a matchup, a rematch, make that, of the semifinals matchup last year in 1A volleyball, as the Rebels actually dropped their first set last year to these Tabiona Tigers, as they are a very capable team. So the Rebels will have to be careful, as I'm sure they're going to attack this game without the vigor that they would attack every other game, as they want to continue this role. They want to continue to build on the momentum they've built so far in the last couple of weeks. As there were some people worried after the Cokeville tournament about the Rebels' record, and of course they dropped that game to Bear Lake. But once again, that's a very good Bear Lake team. So if you're worried about the Rebels, I don't think you should be, as they are ready to go, as we've seen in region play. They have been very, very steady. Rebels will serve first, as Hannah Scott will get the honors. Going over some last-second checks. As the official on the ground. Next the rotation, Paige Smith waits to come in, and she'll replace Janie Wallenstein in that back row. Tabiona, their libero will be Jensen, number 3. As they roll the ball Hannah Scott's way, we are ready to go here in Tabiona. I'm Aaron Poling. Thank you for joining us online at mylocalradio.com, as well as on 98.3. First serve in the air. Dug out back row by the Tigers. They're going to set up on the left wing for Rhodes. She attacks too far out of bounds across that right wing sideline. Rebels go on top early, 1-0. A little bit of a delay as the ball comes back to the floor. Scott has the other ball in her hand. We are ready to go. Scott, serve over. Dug out in the back row by Rhodes. They're going to go right back to her on the left wing. She attacks, deflected at the net. Smith gets her hands to it, but unable to corral it as it bounces off her arms out of bounds. First kill of the match goes to Rhodes. Argyle will check in for Scott, as Fabrizio will serve. Off of her right hand, ball over, dug out by Smith. Rebel set up Taylor left wing as she pushes it down that sideline. That is too far out of bounds across the back line, as that ball didn't miss by much, but it was indeed out of bounds. A good attack there from Taylor, just missed, as Tigers go up 2-1 on the station on main scoreboard. Serve over, Rebels dig it out with Pugmire. Wilson's going to push it over. That allows the Tigers a chance to set up as they go middle of the floor. That's going to fall in, as that was Peyton Pippi with the kill from the middle of the floor. I said that Jensen was their libero. I was actually wrong, just because I thought she had a different color jersey on. The front of the jerseys are white for Tabiona. The back are black. As Fabrizio serve, dug out by Taylor, as it'll go into the net. Fall in on the Rebels side. Credit Fabrizio with the ace. 4-1 Tigers on the station on main scoreboard. Fabrizio will serve again. Ball over, dug out by Smith. As they set up Taylor, 10-foot line on the left wing. She's going to bump it over. Tigers set up. They go left wing, Rhodes. She attacks. Smith with the digs that hits the ceiling. Takes a tough bounce for the Rebels, as there's a tube that goes across the ceiling. It bounces off that, spikes away from every single one of the Rebels defenders. Tough break there. As Fabrizio back to the line, Rebels trail 5-1. Ball over. Smith with a dig over to the Tigers side on one hit. As they go middle of the floor, for Pippi, and her two-handed push is going to fall in for a kill as the Rebels trail 6-1. Not the start they wanted on the road. As it looks to start to build momentum. Volleyball is a game full of momentum as Fabrizio served, dug out by Smith. Set up Taylor left wing. She attacks with the right hand. It's deflected at the net. Ball played over, blocked by Pugmire. Tigers set up. They go Rhodes, left wing. She attacks. Blocked again by Pugmire. Kept in the air. Wilson's going to safely bump it over. Good defense by the Rebels, living to fight another play. Tigers set up middle of the floor. Pippi, she attacks out of bounds long across that right sideline. And maybe a couple of those defensive plays there for the Rebels can get the Rebels going. As Pugmire had a block and a couple of deflections, the Rebels were able to keep the ball alive. Good hustle by Ellsworth to keep it alive as Pugmire serves. Dug out by Fabrizio. Tigers go Rhodes as she tips it over. Wallentyne's there to bump it as Wilson and Wallentyne run into each other. Casey keeps it in the air for Pugmire, who plays it over. Great job by the Rebels to clean that up. Pippi bumps it over for the Tigers, except she bumps it out of bounds across the near sideline. 6-3 Tigers on the station on main scoreboard as Pugmire will serve again. Steps into it with that left hand, ball over, dug out, middle of the floor. As that attack goes too long, out of bounds, off the arms of Rhodes. Rebels go. We'll get another serve. Pugmire plays it over. That's off the arms for Fabrizio. Behind the back line, played in the air, bumped over by the Tigers. Rebels look to set up. Wilson, left wing. Taylor, she attacks right hand. That's going to fall in for the first kill of the contest. As we'll check that out on the Stacy's Repair instant replay. As you can see, Taylor attacks that ball well with that right hand. Let's go back to our live cam. 6-5 Rebels as Pugmire with the serve. Dug out, back row by Rhodes. They go middle of the floor for Pippi, who just has to bump it over. Rebels look to set up. Ellsworth goes Taylor, left wing. She attacks right hand. That's going to fall in off the deflection. Don't look now. Rebels are tied back up 6-6 on the station on main scoreboard. Of Pugmire back to the line to serve. Pugmire lets it go with that left hand. Ball over, dug out by Pippi. Rhodes on the left wing will attack. As that hit the antenna, point will go to the Rebels. It's a good job by the Rebels weathering the storm, and we're going to get a timeout called by the Tigers. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as Rebels are up 7-6 on the station on main scoreboard as they've come all the way back from down 6-1. Pugmire serve over, dug out back row by the Tigers. They go left wing to Rhodes. She pushes it over. Ellsworth gets her hands to it. Argyle's there to back her up as Wilson bumps it over. Tigers looking to attack. As they set up middle of the floor for Pippi. That's off the arms of Ellsworth, out of bounds as Pippi gets the kill. Into the ball game. For Tabiona is number 32, Cadence Pippi. Tigers will serve as it's Sanders. Ball over, dug out by Taylor. They're going to go right back to her on the left wing as she attacks. That's going to find the hardwood as it's 8-7 on the station on main scoreboard. Rebels will serve with Wilson as Sanders checks out after the serve. Wilson serve over the net. Dug out by Fabrizio, back row. As they go right wing to Hagman. Rebels snuff it out. Set up Taylor, left wing, attacks off the block and out of bounds. As that is the fourth kill for Violet Taylor already in the contest. Wilson back to the line to serve. 6 on the floor for the Rebels across the back line. Wilson, Smith, Argyle across the front. Ellsworth, Wallentyne, Taylor as that ball dug out by Fabrizio. They're trying to set up. Hagman again, dug out by Ellsworth. Rebels set up. Wallentine, middle of the floor. She attacks off the front of the net. Good dig there by the back row of the Tigers. They set up right wing again, too far out of bounds from Hagman. As that's actually 32. That's Cadence Pippi who attacked that. It goes out of bounds long. 6 on the floor for the Tigers. As Peyton Pippi, Cadence Pippi, Fabrizio, Hagman, as well as Rhodes, as Peyton and Cadence Pippi run into each other trying to attack that ball. Goes into the net. Rebels on top 11-7. Wilson back to the line to serve. Ball over. Dug out. Back row by Fabrizio. It's going to be played out of the net. Well done there by Jensen. Tigers keep it alive. Rebels set up Taylor. Left wing. That's blocked. Good job by Wallentine to keep it alive. Taylor attacks again as that's going to fall in as Peyton Pippi got her hands to it. Unfortunately, they were unable to keep it alive for the Tigers. 12-7 on the station on main scoreboard. It was a pretty athletic play there as she was falling back. Pippi was able to keep that ball in the air. Wilson serve over the net, dug out in the back row as that's going to fall in on the Tigers side thanks to a easy tap-in kill for Violet Taylor. That's 5 as the Tigers played the ball over the net in one attack. Easy pickings for Violet Taylor right there. Wilson with the serve. Dug out by the Tigers. They go far side to Hagman, trying to play it over the net. Instead, it goes off the arms, sideways into the stands. Don't look now. The Rebels have doubled up the Tigers, 14-7 on the station on main scoreboard with Wilson to serve. Ball over. Fabrizio with the dig. As they set up Hagman on the far side, Wilson just punches it in the air. Good job there by Wallentine to play it back to Argyle, who plays it over safely. Tigers attack. Peyton Pippi into the net. It's a dig there from Ellsworth, kept alive as it falls in on the Rebels side. See how much of that we can check out on the Stacey's Repair instant replay, as that was a very crazy play. You can see Ellsworth falling backwards, keeping it alive as Taylor knocks it in. Back to the live cam, serve over by Wilson. Tigers set up. It's Pippi on the near side. Cadence Pippi, that is. She misses that one. 16-7 on the station on main scoreboard. Wilson back to the line. As she gets the whistle, ball over the air. Dug out, back row by Hagman. As they go middle of the floor for Fabrizio to attack. Into the arms of Argyle. Rebel set up. Taylor left wing. Pushes it down that line. That's off of a Tiger out of bounds. As that'll be another kill for Violet Taylor. By my count, that is 7. And since that timeout, the Rebels were up 7-6. They've allowed 1 point. Scored 10 on a 10-1 run. Dug out in the back row by Fabrizio. Played over by Cadence Pippi. Rebels on the attack. They go to, Ellsworth, right wing side. Knocked high in the air by the back line. Fabrizio plays it forward to Rhodes as she bumps it over. As it's going to be an attack from Wallentine. That's off the net and in as Janie Wallentine picks up the kill. (18-7) on the station on main scoreboard as Wilson serves. A couple of Tigers run into each other. Kept alive by Jensen as Pippi tried to play it. It goes around the antenna. Rebels pick up the point, 19-7. As they're 6 points away from a set 1 victory. Wilson to the line to serve. Lets it go. And she's been there for a while now. Set up Hagman. That's blocked at the net. I believe that's either Wallentine or Taylor who got to it. Tigers try to play it over with Rhodes. She bumps it over the net out of bounds on the near side. The unforced error gives the Rebels the point, 20-7 on the station on main scoreboard. Wilson with a serve, and that's going to be an ace for Casey Wilson as the flight of that ball fooled Fabrizio. 21-7 on the station on main scoreboard. Wilson serve over the net, dug out by Fabrizio. Tigers go middle of the floor to Peyton Pippi, deflected high in the air for Smith as she digs it out. Taylor left wing attack as that might have been into the net, might have been blocked. Either way, it falls in on the Rebels side as the Tigers will get their first serve since 7-7. Ball over. That's off the arms of Argyle, and that's going to fall in for the Tigers. As it's 11. Macy Rhodes with the ace as she's going to attack again. Ball over. Dug out by Argyle. Rebels set up. They go left wing. Taylor punches with that left hand off the block, out of bounds. Violet Taylor with another kill. 22-9 on the Station on main scoreboard. Scott will check in for Argyle. As if you remember, Hannah Scott started the game at the service line. And in the 3-spot rotation, she's just finally getting back to the spot at the 22-9 mark. Played over. Tigers on the attack. They set up near side as that was Allred. Her attack dug out by Taylor. Scott pushes it down that line off the hands of Jensen, out of bounds as Hannah Scott picks up her first kill. 23-9 on the Station on main scoreboard. Taylor back to the line to serve. Ball over, dug out by Fabrizio. They set up middle of the floor for Peyton Pippi. That's blocked by Wallenstein. Tigers on the attack still. They go near side. Allred finds the arms of Taylor back row. Rebels set up for Ellsworth. She attacks. That's into the net, going to fall in. Excuse me, that was off the arms of the front line, into the net, falls in. Ellsworth with the kill, Rebels with the point. Violet Taylor has a set point in her hand as she attacks. Ball over. Dug out back row by Rhodes. As that's going to go into the net as they tried to set up Cadence Pippi. And that'll do it for us here in set number 1 as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in at 98.3 KADQ. Rebels win set 1, 25-9.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our Rich Rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Ready has provided safety and excellence in industrial construction and support services since 1982. From insulation and scaffolding to paintings and coatings, our crews are standing by to assist with new construction, maintenance projects, facility shutdowns, and more. Contact us today to ensure your assets are protected and functional. Interested in joining our team? Visit ReadyUSA.com. We are ready.
The best trips away from home always come when you know you're among friends. This is Coulter Patterson, General Manager at the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper, Wyoming. I invite you to stay with us every time you're here. We've got the absolute best staff. Lots of our team members have been working together for years, and we feel like we're a happy family. I guarantee you'll feel that when you come stay with us. We're always glad that you choose the Come On In, and we'll do everything to make your stay comfortable and relaxing. The Come On In Hotel and Suites is the best place to stay because we have the best staff in Casper. Come on in today.
With the completion of the 8-man season, the Rebels begin the 11-man portion of their season as they welcome in the Mountain View Buffaloes. I'm Aaron Poling, inviting you to join us on 98.3 KADQ, as well as tuning in for live video coverage on mylocalradio.com. It'll be the Rich Rebels taking on the Mountain View Buffaloes.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tigers broadcast booth as we get the live cam ready to go for set number 2. Rebels on top, 1-0 in sets as they win set number 1, 25-9. It'll be Tabiona serve to start. Looking to bounce back after set number 1. Kind of a similar way to the game started last week versus Tabiona. Rebels won that set 25-11. In fairly dominant fashion. I mean, if you look at the stat sheet right now, of course, these are unofficial stats, as I have Violet Taylor down for 7 kills. And, I mean, there wasn't very many rotations in the game. Like I mentioned, Hannah Scott started the game at the service line, was taken out after her serves, and then the 3 spots that it takes to get back to her spot at the front of the net, they didn't get back to that spot until 22-9. Smith checks in for Wallenstein. As the Tigers break the huddle. Official going over some final checks before we start set number 2. Rebels looking to continue their role as they've been very, very sharp of late against 1A opponents. as that's all they've played actually the last 4 games. But since region play, they are 4-0. There's a little bit of confusion on the Tabiona side. We get that cleared up. Peyton Pippy will serve to start. Checking in for the Tigers is Sanders. As Pippy will serve, ball over. Dug out by Pugmire. They go to Taylor, left wing. She attacks. That's in. As Violet Taylor gets the set started with her first kill of set number 2. Make that her 8th in the contest, as Walentine's going to check in for Smith. They'll send Pugmire to the line to serve. Pugmire was also another victim of happenstance there. She came, after her serve, she came out as well. I don't know if she got back to the floor. Ball over net, dug out by the Tigers. They go to Fabrizio, middle of the floor. Too long, out of bounds across that back line. Rebels on top 2-0 here in set number 2. Pugmire back to the line to serve. Ball over. Played in the back row by Pippy, as that's tipped down by Taylor off the arms, possibly the head of the front line defender, Jensen, as she looks no worse for wear. But Taylor, once again, if you're going to serve the ball up on a golden platter at the net for any of the Rebels, Violet Taylor is probably not the Rebel you want to do it for. That serve into the net for Pugmire, as if you leave it right there for Taylor, she's going to finish it off. Smith in for Pugmire. Webb will serve for the Tigers. Dug out by Smith. As they set up Walentine, middle of the floor. She attacks, dug out back row by the Tigers. As that's attacked by Allred. That's too far out of bounds across that back line. 4-1. Rebels on top, station on main scoreboard, as Wilson will serve. It's an attack, steps into it with that right hand. Ball over the net. Dug out by Rhodes. They go Fabrizio, middle of the floor, tips it over, as that's a crafty kill there by Fabrizio. That is her 2nd of the contest. She averages about 3 per set, was held to 1 in set number 1. Rebels defense did a great job on her. That looked like it was a set play, though, as she lined up at the 10-foot line, got a full charge. Tipped it over as the Rebels dig out the serve with Argyle. They set up Taylor left wing. Rhodes flips it high in the air, as Fabrizio is going to reverse bump it from the 10-foot line. Wilson diving effort to keep it alive. Rebels go to Taylor, punches with the left hand. That's tipped high. Tigers are able to keep it alive. A couple of Rebels run into each other. Ellsworth with one arm plays it back to Argyle, who safely bumps it over. Good job by Ellsworth to save that ball. They set up Rhodes left wing, attacks into the net. A couple of Tigers punch at it. They get it over. Nicely done there by the Tigers. Rebels set up Walentine from the 10-foot line. She tries that back right corner instead. Finds Pippy. Rhodes will attack from the left wing off the arms of Smith, as Violet Taylor had to play a little defense to defend herself there, as she deflects it high in the air. Unfortunately, it goes behind her out of bounds into the crowd, as the Tigers win a well-fought service there. 4-3, Rebels on top. Argyle digs out the serve. Wilson plays it to the middle, as Ellsworth just bumps it over. Tigers look to set up the attack. They do. Rhodes left wing with that right hand. It's a good job by Violet Taylor to keep it alive, as that deflected away from her. Reaches out with the right hand, keeps it alive as Argyle bumps it over. Tigers set up the attack. Fabrizio, she finds Smith in the middle of the back row. Rebels set up Taylor. Dug out in the back row by Allred. Rhodes with 2 hands. That's a nice dig there by Smith, running to the back corner to keep it alive. Played to the middle for Ellsworth, who bumps it over. Rebels live to fight another play. They set up Fabrizio, middle of the floor. She attacks Smith with the dig. Rebels on the attack. Taylor will reach out with that left hand, and that falls in. As let's take a look at that on the Stacy's Repair instant replay. Violet Taylor with her off hand was able to reach out and just tap that to the middle of the floor. It's a good job there by Taylor being alert. 5-3 on the station on main scoreboard, as they'll send Taylor to the line to serve. That last kill puts Taylor in double digits for the contest. Her serve over. Rhodes will attack from the left wing. That finds Smith. Taylor there to back her up. Plays it in the middle of the floor where Wilson bumps it over. Tigers on the attack. They go middle of the floor. Fabrizio tips it over. That's a crafty kill there from Cicely Fabrizio as she jumps up, winds up like she's going to attack, and just flicks it over, her third of the contest. After the kill, Fabrizio will serve. Right-handed jump serve finds Hannah Scott in the back row. Scott from the left wing attacks. That's off the arms of Fabrizio. Tigers play it back to the middle of the floor where Rhodes will attack from the 10-foot line as she pummels that into the net. Just got on top of that ball a little bit. 6-4 on the Station on main scoreboard. They'll send Smith to the service stripe. I do believe this is her first serve of the contest. Ball over. Dug out by Rhodes. They're going to go to the middle of the floor as Pippi has it blocked down to the floor by Scott. 7-4 on the Station on main scoreboard. Hannah Scott got in the way there. That goes along with her one kill. Nice block at the front of the net. Smith serves it over. Dug out by Pippi. They go Rhodes left wing as she attacks. That's off the front line, out of bounds. As I think Ava Ellsworth got her hands to it, unfortunately off of her hands into the antenna and rolls in. (7-5) on the Station on main scoreboard. Tigers will serve. I believe that's Cadence Pippi. Set up Ellsworth on the right wing, pushes it over, dug out by Allred. They go Rhodes, left wing, she attacks. That's deflected. Or they're going to say the Rebels blocked it as the play continues. Pugmire nearly gets a crafty kill. Diving play by Fabrizio keeps it alive for the moment, but the Tigers are unable to play it over as Pugmire was trying to show the official that she didn't touch that third hit that went into the net. Instead, I think she's going to be credited with the block. Nearly got the kill when she reaches over and flips it over. That sends Ellsworth back to serve. Lets it go. Dug out by Fabrizio. As they set up on the right wing to Rhodes. Ellsworth with a nice dig. Wilson sets up Scott, who pushes it over with two hands. Finds Fabrizio in the middle of the back row. Set up Rhodes left wing. She attacks. That's into the net. Falls in on the Tigers side. 9-5 Rebels on the Station on main scoreboard. Ellsworth will serve again. As there's been a couple more longer rallies here in set number 2 than they were in set 1 as these two teams are going at it. Fabrizio with the dig as they set up Sanders on the left wing. She tries to poke it over, pokes it off the antenna. 10-5 Rebels on the Station on main scoreboard. Once this Rebels team starts picking up momentum, they kind of avalanche a bit. They had an 18-2 run to close out that first set as Ellsworth served. Dug out back row by the Tigers. Allred will attack. That goes into the net. 11-5 on the Station on main scoreboard. A couple of really long runs in that first set, including a 10-0 run as Ellsworth serve, ball over, dug out back row by Rhodes. As they set up Fabrizio middle of the floor. She tries to find that back right corner, is able to do so. 11-6 on the Station on main scoreboard as that was right at the feet of the flag official in perfect position to make the call. That kill matches the number on Fabrizio's back with 4. Serve over by Rhodes. Taylor with the dig. Wilson sets up Scott left wing. She pushes it over. That's saved in the air by Rhodes. Tigers play it back to the middle of the floor where Pippi bumps it over. Taylor with the dig. Rebels set up the attack again. Middle of the floor, Pugmire with the left hand. Diving effort keeps it alive by Fabrizio. Tigers able to play it over after they punched it into the net. Rebels set up the attack. Scott left wing with the right hand. That's deflected high in the air and out of bounds as Hannah Scott picks up the kill. As she tried to power it through that front line of the Tigers. It deflects off them, goes directly to the Tigers' left into the bench area, out of bounds. 12-6 on the Station on main scoreboard as Scott will serve. Jump serve with that right hand. Unleashes a low line drive, dug out by Fabrizio. Played over by Peyton Pippi. Rebels set up the attack. They go Taylor left wing, right hand. That's off the front line. Kept alive for the moment. Tigers going to be able to play that over with Allred. Great job there defensively. Rebels set up middle of the floor for Pugmire. She plays it back row, dug out by Rhodes. Set up on the left wing for Allred. Ellsworth with the dig. Scott plays it to the middle of the floor with Taylor. Tries to punch it. punched in the air with one arm by Pugmire. It's a great job keeping it alive. Rebels play it over. Tigers attack. Fabrizio, middle of the floor. Actually make that Pippi. Rebels dig it out. Taylor left wing. She attacks. Diving effort to keep it alive by Allred as Pugmire tips it back over. Tigers are able to save it. Rebels still on the attack as they go back to Taylor. Right hand down the sideline. That's dug out in the back road by Rhodes. Dump set attempt from Jensen. Scott sniffs that out. Pugmire, middle of the floor. Attacks deflected to Fabrizio. She keeps it alive. They go all red. She attacks into the net. As what an incredible rally that was. Both of these teams are flying around making plays. Scott will go to serve as a couple of different times the Tigers looked like they were dead in the water. A couple of diving efforts to keep it alive. Scott will serve again. Ball over. Dug out back row by Fabrizio. They set up middle of the floor for Peyton Pippi. That's blocked down to the floor by Violet Taylor. As Pippi unloaded on that ball right into the palms of Taylor, it falls in on the Tigers side as Scott will serve. 14-6, Rebels on top. Fabrizio digs it out. Allred will attack from the 10-foot line. Pugmire tips that one back over with the block. Rebels set up the attack. Taylor left wing with that right hand. That's blocked. Scott's there to back her up. Rebels set up again. Taylor pushes it down the left wing sideline. That finds Rhodes. They go to the near side for Peyton, or excuse me, make that Allred as she attacks out of bounds across that back line. 15-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Scott will go back to the line to serve. Ball over. That's off the tape and going to fall in for an ace as Hannah Scott tickles the tape. That falls in between all 6 defenders of the Tigers. Scott with the ace will go back to the line to serve. Rebels up 10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Scott attacks. Ball over. Dug out by the Tigers as they set up Pippi. That's blocked to the front of the net. An attack from Jensen goes out of bounds across that right sideline as she tried to attack that one falling away. She hit the side of the ball and it just spins sideways on her. 17-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Scott will serve. That ball goes into the net. As after a long run, it'll go back over to the Tigers. Hannah Scott will check out as Argyle comes in to replace her. Peyton Pippi will serve. Serve over, dug out by Smith. As they set up Taylor left wing, she attacks on the move. It's a good dig in the back row by Pippi. Set up Fabrizio, middle of the floor. That's blocked by Pugmire. As you can hear that one in the crowd, and like Pugmire again with the block. 2 in a row for Pugmire. They set up Allred on the far side. She attacks out of bounds across that sideline. Credit that point there to Haiti Pugmire. It's a couple of blocks as she is steadily improving at the front of the net. As after the defensive gems by Pugmire, she will serve. Dug out back row by Rhodes. They go middle of the floor. Fabrizio, she attacks that one, tickles the top of the net and falls in. 18-8 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As that kill for Fabrizio will be her 5th. It'll be Webb to serve. Ball over, dug out by Taylor. They go right back to her on the left wing. She reaches out with that left hand, dug out by Allred. As they go to Fabrizio, tips it, that rolls along the net, and they're going to call a lift on Taylor as that ball didn't come down, I think, when she was expecting it to, so she kind of reached out in desperation. It landed on the inside of her hand as she lifted it up. 18-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Webb back to the line to serve. That serve is out of bounds as Smith wisely lets it go. 19-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard as that crosses that left wing sideline. Rebels up 10. 19-9 with number 9 in blue to the line to serve is Wilson. Steps into it, lets it go with that right hand. Dug out by Fabrizio. They set up Rhodes from the 10-foot line. She attacks. That's a good dig there by Smith. They set up Taylor, left wing, down the sideline. Good effort by the Tigers to keep it alive with Rhodes as they play it back over. Great job as the Rebels will set it back up again. Wallenstein, she attacks. That's going to fall in as we'll check that out on the Stacy's Repair instant replay. The front of the line gets the ball as Wallenstein gets the kill. Back to the live cam as Wilson serves it over. Dug out back row by Rhodes. As she'll get an attack attempt that's going to be out of bounds across the near sideline. 20-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard with Wilson back to serve. As one of the 3 Pugmires on the varsity roster. Goes and gets the ball. Dug out by Fabrizio for the moment. That's actually going to fall in as an ace. 21-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Wilson gets her second ace of the game. I have to check how many times that's happened with 3 siblings on a varsity roster in rich history. As that serve from Wilson out of bounds long, of course, for the Pugmires, it's Haiti, Braylon, and Tyla Pugmire all suited up for the varsity game, as Haiti's had a really big impact in this one. Serve over, dug out by Argyle, as Wilson dump set. Nicely read by Fabrizio. They go right back to her, middle of the floor. She attacks, that's blocked at the front line. I believe Taylor got that one as well. They go right back to her. She attacks left wing. That's into the net. As it's 22-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Back to serve. Ball over, as that's Sanders. Ellsworth attacks, that goes into the net. 22-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels looking to close this one out. Ellsworth having a little laugh at herself. It's one thing I think this Rebel teams have done much better in the last couple of weeks is the attitude as they go to Wallentine, middle of the floor, as that is deflected out of bounds. Wallentine picks up the kill, but I think the Rebels have been able to brush off mistakes a little bit better here in these last we'll say 3.2 matches as we're nearly done with set number 2. So I think just letting things go. I think they've been much better at that. As Taylor serves it over. That goes into the net. Dug out by Jensen. Good job by Rhodes to keep it alive. Rebels on the attack. Ellsworth with the right hand into the antenna. As she had to try to get around that ball to get it back inside. 23-12. It seemed like against Bear Lake, they were getting frustrated with themselves with a couple of mistakes they made. Now they're making mistakes. It's obviously easier when you're way up. They're making mistakes and brushing them off as Fabrizio served. Dug out by Smith. Wallentine attacks from the 10-foot line. What a play that was from Wallentine. As we'll try to check that out on the Stacey's Repair instant replay. As from the 10-foot line, she's able to find that back corner. It's a great attack there. She now has 4 kills to her credit. Paige Smith holds set point in her left hand, releases with the right hand, ball over. Fabrizio with the dig, and that's going to do it for us here in set number 2. Paige Smith gets the ace to end the set as the Rebels win this one 25-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. I'm Aaron Poling. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon as the Rebels take care of victory, actually 25-13 in set number 2. As when we come back, we'll have set number 3. You're watching the 2023 Retro Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful Blue Water and Bear Lake Raspberry Shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
The season continues to roll on as the Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team will pack up, hit the road to take.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Playing Stars broadcast booth as we're getting set for set number 3. Rebels on top, 2-0 as we start the set. Hannah Scott's going to serve first for the Rebels, as Smith is more than likely going to check in for Wallenstein if the rotation stays the same. Tigers break the huddle as the horn goes off. Final checks on the Rich side as the official is going to go over to Tabiona's side. Six on the floor for the Rebels: Scott, Smith, Ellsworth in the back row, Pugmire, Wilson, Taylor in the front row. For the Tigers, it is Peyton Pippi, all red, Michaela Sanders, Fabrizio, or actually it's Jensen, Pippi, and Sanders across the front row, across the back row, Rhodes, Fabrizio, and all red. As Fabrizio gets the first dig, they play it to the middle of the floor. It's going to fall in. Rebels pick up the point. 1-0 on the stationary main scoreboard as Scott back to the line to serve. She attacks, jump serve with the right hand, ball over. That's dug out in the back row by Allred. Fabrizio plays it to the middle of the floor where Pippi bumps it over. Rebels set up the attack. They go Wilson, left wing, and she tips that with the left hand. Allred diving effort as they're going to call into the net against the Tigers. 2-0 on the station on main scoreboard with Scott back to the line to serve. Approaches, jump serve with that right hand. Dug out by Fabrizio, back row. Set up Pippi as she tips it over. Dug out there by Ellsworth. Taylor will attack on the left wing as that's off the arms of Rhodes into the crowd as Violet Taylor picks up the kill. 3-0 on the station on main scoreboard as that's Taylor's 11th kill of the contest. Scott will serve. Rebels looking to take care of this one in straight sets with the serve. Ball over. Dug out by Fabrizio. As it's played middle of the floor, Pippi bumps it over. Ellsworth diving effort, unable to keep it into the net as that ball went under the net. As I think Ellsworth was just trying to hit it off the net, see if her teammates could help her out. It's a great effort, though, from Ava. They'll send Peyton Pippi to the line to serve. Ball goes over, dug out by Taylor. As the Rebels set up Pugmire middle of the floor, she attacks too far out of bounds across that back line. 3-2 on the station on main scoreboard. As Haiti got just a little bit underneath that one. Pippi will serve again. Ball over, dug out by Smith. Rebel set up Taylor left wing on the attack with the right hand. That falls in. As let's check that out on our Stacy's Repair instant replay. As you can see, Taylor just finds the middle of the floor in between the defenders. It's a great attack there. 4-2 on the station on main scoreboard. As Pugmire serves, dug out back row by the Tigers. As they go near side to Allred, she attacks across that back line out of bounds. Rebels pick up the point. As Pugmire back to the line to serve. Couple dribbles, steps into it with that left hand, ball over. Dug out back row by Rhodes. That's played over by the Tigers. Rebels set up the attack. As Wallenstein gets a little bit of an awkward run at it, but is able to punch it over. They set up Allred, dug out by Argyle. Go Taylor left wing. She attacks right hand into the net. 5-3 on the station on main scoreboard as a substitution for the Tigers as Webb's going to check in for Sanders. Goes right to the line to serve. On the Rebels side, Pugmire checks out for Smith. Ball over, dug out by Argyle. As Taylor sets up Wallenstein, middle of the floor, deflected. Good job there by Webb to keep it alive. They set up middle of the floor for the Tigers, played over. Argyle does a good job keeping that ball alive. Fabrizio, middle of the floor. It's deflected in the air for Smith. Rebels attack. Taylor, left wing, tries to punch it down the sideline from the 10-foot line. Tigers dig it out as Fabrizio tips it over. Ellsworth comes diving in, unfortunately not able to get there. As Fabrizio is very crafty from that middle blocker position. That's her 6th kill of the contest. Of course, she came into the weekend leading the Tigers in kills per set. Webb will serve. Ball over. Dug out by Taylor. As they go right back to Taylor, she pushes it down that sideline. Read well by Webb. They set up Fabrizio. She attacks. Deflected off the net. Kept alive. They've set it up for Fabrizio as Wallenstein tried to bump it back to a teammate. She played it over. Fabrizio unloads on that one down the right wing sideline. Picks up her 7th kill. 5-5. Serve over. Dug out by Argyle. They set up Taylor left wing. She attacks with the right hand. Rhodes with the dig, middle of the floor. Allred attacks left wing. Too far out of bounds across that back line. 6-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard with Wilson to the line to serve. Ball over the net, dug out by Fabrizio. As they try to go right back to her, instead it's going to be Allred to bump it over. Rebels on the attack. Ellsworth tried to set up Wallenstein. Goes a little awry there as the ball's into the net on the side of the Rebels, falls in. Tigers with a point, 6-6 here on the Station on Main scoreboard here in set number 3. As Allred serves, Argyle digs. They go to Taylor, left wing with the right hand. She unloads on that ball. You hear the smack from our crowd mic. As we're going to get a substitution for the Rebels as Argyle checks out, Scott checks in. But if you're listening along at home, you could really hear the contact there from Taylor in the mic. As she serves, ball over, dug out by Rhodes. As they go Fabrizio, middle of the floor, she attacks. That's blocked by Wallenstein. Diving effort from Jensen to keep it alive. The ball goes under the net. Wallenstein with another kill, as that is her 5th of the contest. Taylor with the serve, Rhodes with the dig. They go right back to her on the left wing. She pushes it over. Wilson, sliding dig, keeps it alive. They set up Scott left wing. She attacks, finds the hardwood on that back right corner. It's a great attack there from Hannah Scott. She now has 3 kills in the contest. Taylor back to the line to serve. 9-6 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. Taylor serve, dug out by Rhodes. As Fabrizio calls everyone off to reverse bump it over. Rebels dig it out. As Ellsworth plays it to the middle of the floor, plays it back to the net. That ball will fall in. As a little miscommunication there from the Rebels. Leads to the Tabiona point, 9-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Fabrizio goes back to the line to serve. Ball over, dug out by Smith. It's Wilson, sets up Scott left wing. She attacks, that goes into the net. 9-8 on the Station on Main scoreboard as the Tigers are battling really hard here in the 3rd set, as you'd expect them to do. Fabrizio back to the line. Jump serve, that goes into the net. Rebels pick up the point on the service error as Pugmire will check in for Wallenstein. Smith back to the line to serve. 10-8 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. Smith releases it with the right hand. As a little bit of a dodgeball back there from Webb gets out of the way as that ball lands out of bounds across that back line. As Webb will check out, Sanders will check in. As Jensen will serve. Right-handed serve off the net. Good job there by Smith to keep it alive. Rebels set up Taylor from the 10-foot line. She bumps it over. Allred with the dig. They go Pippi, middle of the floor. She attacks that ball across the right sideline, out of bounds, possibly the back sideline as well. 11-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Ellsworth to serve. Ball over. Take that back. Ball into the net. The Rebels' serving's been much better of late, as I think that is only the 2nd error of the set, and not very many service errors so far in the contest. Tabiona serves. Smith with a dig. Wilson has that blocked down by Allred, as Casey tried to dump set right there, but Allred had that snuffed out from the beginning. She taps that right to the floor on the left wing side. Tigers tie it back up at 11. Rhodes will serve, dug out by Taylor. As they set up Scott, she'll attack from the 10-foot line that deflects off the tape. Allred with the dig. They go right back to her on the left wing side. Taylor's a diving dig to keep it alive. Wilson goes into the scoreboard. Unfortunately, she's unable to keep it alive, but you love to see the hustle out of a player diving into the diving into the where the scoreboard's being placed. I forget what they would call that, but the table. Dives into the table, tries to keep that alive, unfortunately unable to. 12-11 Tigers. Taylor with the dig. They go Pugmire, middle of the floor. That's off the front line and down. Haiti Pugmire picks up the kill as she attacks that ball with her left hand. That is her first of the contest, according to my stats. Once again, these are unofficial stats as the game's going along. Scott to serve. Ball over. That is on the back line as Fabrizio got out of the way. Hannah Scott picks up her second ace of the contest. And she'll go back to the line to serve. As the Rebels have completed one full rotation. It's the first time that's happened in this game as they were taking care of the Tigers. Early and often in this game is Allred attacks, dug out by Smith. Taylor with the attack on the left wing. That's dug out in the back row by Rhodes. As they go Allred. Ellsworth with a dig. Wilson chases it down back to the middle of the floor. Scott will attack from the back line. Fabrizio digs that one out. They go Allred left wing. That's deflected down off the hands of Pugmires. I think that caught Casey Wilson in the back. 13-13 on the station on main scoreboard as Scott checks out and Argyle checks in. Peyton Pippi to the line to serve. Releases the ball. Over the net, dug out by Taylor. As Wilson with a quick tip there. That's a good read by Jensen to keep it alive. Fabrizio attacks middle of the floor, 10-foot line. She finds Paige Smith, middle of the floor, back line. Taylor attacks. That's too far out of bounds across that back sideline as the Tigers go up 14-13 on the station on main scoreboard. Pippi to serve again. As that finds the back line, that's an ace for Pippi. My stats are correct. That's the first ace allowed by this Rebel service defense, and we're going to get a timeout called by the Rebel sideline. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
Buying or selling real estate can be fun, especially when you have a realtor that's working hard on your behalf. Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty have unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise. The team at Bear Lake Realty will work to get you the best price. Whatever you're looking for, buying or selling, residential, commercial, year-round living, half shares, quarter shares, or income property, hire the best real estate company, Bear Lake Realty. Log on today, bearlakerealty.com.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth as it's time for the Bear Bear Fan Cam brought to you by Bear Lake Realty and broker Gary McKee. When you need a realtor, whether you're buying or selling, hire the best. Gary McKee and Bear Lake Realty. Log on today at bearlakerealty.com or give them a call at 435-946-8888. Back to the live cam. Rebels trail by 2 in the sets. They're up 2 in the set, They're up by 2 in sets. As Pippi will serve. Coming off the ace, lets it go with that right hand. As Smith's able to dig it out with a nice reach back as they set up Taylor. Taps it with the left wing. That might have been out of bounds, but Jensen dives to go get it. Comes up holding her knee as that's played over to the Rebel side. Ellsworth digs it out. Taylor from the left wing attacks. It's a good read back row as Taylor's able to tip that down as that ball was set up on a golden platter for Violet Taylor to pick up the kill. Actually, they're going to say that Taylor reached a little too far over to tap that in. 16-3 on the station on main scoreboard. Pippi back to serve. Ball over. As that's off of Pugmire's arms, out of bounds. Second ace for Pippi. As Casey Wilson imploring the Rebels to get back into it. Pippi to serve. Ball over. Smith with the dig. As they go to Taylor, she attacks with 2 hands, pushed over. Dug out by Allred. As they go middle of the floor, Fabrizio, she attacks. That's deflected down by Haiti Pugmire. As when Fabrizio has to back up, she attacks the ball on a low line drive as Pugmire's able to tap that one down. By my count, her 4th block of the contest. She goes back to the line to serve. 17-14 Tigers. As Rhodes gets the dig. That's a great job by Sanders to play it back to the middle of the floor. Unable to play it over, though, is Jensen. As Sanders had to reach into the crowd to keep that ball alive. Jensen unable to capitalize and play it over. Rebels pick up the point, 17-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Pugmire will serve. Ball over. Too far over as it goes across that back line out of bounds. As after a couple of really good sets from the service line, the Rebels have committed a few errors here against the Tigers. As Webb will serve. Webb lets it go. That right hand. Taylor with the dig. Wallenstein plays it back middle of the floor where Wilson will bump it over. Tigers set up the attack as they go left wing. As that's into the net, trying to set up Allred. 18-16 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Wilson will go back to the line to serve. Serve over, dug out by Fabrizio. Jensen plays it back to Fabrizio, attacks middle of the floor. Too far out of bounds across that back line. 18-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Wilson will serve again. As I do believe the front line of the Rebels had an effect on that one, as they had quite a few blocks in the contest. As Wilson serve deflects off the net, and they're going to say the flag judge could not see because of the Tigers player, and they're going to reset the serve. I think the Rebels are catching a break here, if I'm being honest, as that looked like if it caught the line, it caught barely the line. Wilson will get a chance at it again. As the Rebels serve over, dug out by Fabrizio, dump set from Jensen, finds the arms of Wilson. They go to Taylor, left wing, attacks with the right hand. That falls in, as we'll check that out on the Stacy's Repair replay, but that's what really good teams do. They got a second opportunity at it. They were able to make the play, and with that, we're going to get a timeout as you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuned in on 98.3 KDQ.
Whether you're recovering from an injury, just had surgery, or you're dealing with a chronic condition, Evanston Regional Hospital Physical Therapy will help you every step of the way to reach your goals and get back to doing what you love. In addition to the top-of-the-line facilities, we are the only physical therapy clinic in Southwest Wyoming with a full-size therapy pool and spa for aquatic-based treatment. Call today to schedule an appointment. Evanston Regional Hospital, helping you get your life back.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tigers broadcast booth as we are tied at 18 apiece. Let's go back to that instant replay to check out Violet Taylor on the attack. Lines it up and bangs it home in between all the defenders. As that attack for Taylor was her 13th kill of the contest. So we go back to our live cam with Wilson at the line to serve. Steps into it with the right hand. Ball over. Dug out by Fabrizio. As they set up Fabrizio, middle of the floor, tips it over as Argyle can't quite get to that one. 19-18. That looked like a set play there by the Tigers as they go back on top. As out of timeouts, it seems to be the play that the Tigers like as Fabrizio gets a running start from the middle of the floor and just kind of tips it over that front line. Ball served over. Dug out by Smith. As Taylor's going to bump it over. Back row dig for the Tigers. Fabrizio, middle of the floor, attacks. Kept in the air, as that probably should have been a lift on Taylor as it falls in after 3 hits. But it was a good job there in the back line by Argyle, diving to keep it alive. As Violet Taylor nearly caught that ball. 20-18 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Tigers will serve. Ball over. Dug out by Smith. Wallenstein, middle of the floor. She attacks, tipped high in the air. Diving effort to keep it alive. As they'll play it from the back line. Smith with the dig. Wilson plays it back middle of the floor. Ellsworth bumps it over. Dug out in the back row. As Fabrizio attacks middle of the floor. Argyle plays it to the middle of the floor for the Rebels. They attack with Taylor as that's deflected off the front line. Diving up from Rhodes to keep it alive. Goes out of bounds past the stand judge. 2019 Tigers on top with Taylor at the line to serve. Ball played over. Fabrizio with the dig. Jensen Goes to Rhodes as she pushes. That's deflected high in the air as Wallentine tried to play it over to Scott. Unfortunately, didn't quite get all of that one as that ball was dancing on top of the net. Sends Fabrizio back to serve. 21-19. Tigers on top by 2. Smith with the dig. As they set up Scott left wing. She attacks right hand. That's into the net. Kept alive. Is deflected in the net by the block. Kept alive. Rebels go to Scott again. She attacks. That one's blocked, but finds the arms of Taylor. They go Ellsworth. That's blocked again. As the Rebels look to set up attack, Wallentine tries to tip it over. That's into the net. 22-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. If the Rebels want to do it in 3, they have to start now. As we're getting another timeout called by the Rebels. We're going to keep it right here. As in that last rally, the Rebels attacked from all 3 spots on the front line. The outside hitter, opposite hitter, and middle blocker. 2 of them were blocked by the front rows. I believe that was... I do think that was Pippi that got to it, Peyton Pippi. Rebels quick timeout. Ready to get back on the floor. 22-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. They trail by 3. They are up 2-0, trying to complete a sweep. As the Tigers have really fought back here in the set. Rebels have probably given them a little more here in set 3 than they had in sets 1 and 2. But they still have an opportunity to capitalize here, as they're not incapable of outscoring the Tabiona to get to 25. As Fabrizio attacks. Serve is dug out by Smith. Set up Scott, left wing, attacks with the right hand. That's a nice dig in the back row by Allred. As Rhodes pushes it over, Scott with the dig. Rebels set up the attack. They go Ellsworth, opposite side, blocked to the front of the net. Rebels go Scott, left wing. She attacks, deflected in as Hannah Scott picks up the kill. 22-20, as a couple of blocks there did not deter the Rebels as they keep swinging. Scott with her 4th kill. 22-20 with Smith at the line to serve. Serve over. Dug out in the back rows. They set up Allred. Taylor with the dig. They set up Scott, left wing. She attacks right wing. That is down, and that's a lift called against the Tigers. As Scott bashed that one into the front line, and as the front line was falling back, they tried to slap it in the air. They slapped it with both hands. They get a lift call as the Rebels trail 22-21. Smith with the serve. Fabrizio with the dig. As they go to Rhodes on the left wing. She attacks, and that's perfect in that back corner, 23-21, as Rhodes attacks from the 10-foot line on the left wing, finds the back right corner on the Rebels side. Sanders will check in for Webb, as Jensen will serve. Rebels trail by 2. Tigers need 2 to win this set. Jensen's serve is over, dug out by Taylor. As they play it to Scott, he just pushes it down that line. Fabrizio with a nice running dig. They go middle of the floor for Pippi. She attacks, Taylor digs it out. Rebels set up, Scott left wing on the attack. That's off the arms, into the ceiling as the Tigers try to chase it down, unable to do so. As give Hannah Scott another kill. That's her 5th of the contest. Ellsworth will serve, 23-22, Tigers on top. The Rebels can somehow eke out these next 3 points. They will win the game as Ellsworth serve. Over the net, dug out by Fabrizio. Tigers set up Sanders as she attacks. Smith with the dig. As Pugmire attacks middle of the floor, she tips it over the front line, but not far enough for the back line to get there. Pugmire with her 2nd kill. It's a crafty play there from Pugmire, 23-23. As we're going to get a substitution as Cadence Clegg will check in for Allred. Ellsworth to serve. Ball over. Dug out in the back row as Jensen sets up in the back, sets up Rhodes. She attacks on the right wing. That's deflected out of bounds off the Rebels front line. 24-23, a set point is in the hands of the Tigers as we're going to get a substitution as it's Clegg checking out, Allred checking in. Rhodes will serve. Played over, Scott with the dig, Rebels set up. Scott left wing, she attacks, that's dug out nicely by Fabrizio as Jensen nearly fell down. Tigers have to bump it over from the back row. Rebels can set up again. As they go left wing, Scott pushes over with the left hand as Allred keeps it alive. Jensen plays it high. Pippi plays it over. Rebels on the attack. They set up Scott left wing, pushes it down that sideline. Good read there by Rhodes. As they set up Allred, she finds that back right corner, and we are going to set number 4 as the Tigers bounce back to win set number 3. As you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
We're off to the rodeo. My Local Rodeo is proud to bring you live streaming coverage of high school rodeo from Utah and Wyoming, as well as the Intermountain Icebreaker of the National High School Rodeo Association's Western Legacy Series in 2023 and 2024. If you're interested in becoming a broadcast sponsor and advertising your business to the most loyal group of viewers in the country, you won't find a better opportunity. Call us today to claim your spot, 307-789-8116. That's 307-789-8116. We're off to the rodeo.
The season continues to roll on as the Rich Rebels varsity volleyball.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tigers broadcast booth as we head to set number 4. Rebels on top, 2-1. As a look to bounce back, not the worst thing in the world to happen. Ultimately, what matters is you win 3 sets. Rebels still have the opportunity to do that. They are up 2-1, but you want to get it done here in set number 2. You don't want to go to a set 5 and allow Tabiona to really get the momentum. This place was rocking at the end of that set. You want to try to silence the crowd here in set number 4. And ultimately, what that set came down to is the Rebels made a few more errors on their attacks and on their serves than they had in the first 2 sets, but they nearly played perfect sets in the first 2, as it's hard to play that way for 3 straight sets, especially in that 3rd set. You know you're getting the team's absolute best as their backs are against the wall. Rebels break the huddle as the Tigers will serve to start. The 6 on the floor will be Wilson, Ellsworth, Taylor, Pugmire, and Argyles. I believe Smith will check in for Wallentine. As Casey Wilson called the troops over again, wanted to give one more little rallying cry. As Sanders will check in for Webb. Smith awaiting the go-ahead to check in as she's serving as a libero. It's an adjustment that was made at the start. Excuse me, against, actually I think it was Tabiona the first time they made that adjustment as Smith checks in for Wallentine. Tigers will serve. As that's Peyton Pippi, who gets the ball ready to go. And tosses the ball in the air, and set number 4 is underway with a service error by the Tigers. Rebels go on top 1-0. As Wallentine will check back in for Smith. Pugmire will serve. Steps into it with that left hand, ball over. Dug out by Rhodes. As they set up Fabrizio, who has to reverse bump it over. Good job by Fabrizio to keep it alive. Taylor sets up left wing, tips it over. Jensen with the dig. Fabrizio with the reverse bump from the 10-foot line. Finds Ellsworth. Rebels set up. Taylor left wing. She attacks off the arms of the back row, as that was Pippi, and we're going to lift called against the Tigers. Rebels go on top 2-0. Pugmire back to the line to serve. Gets the whistle. A couple dribbles. Steps into it with that left hand, ball over. Dug out, back row by Rhodes. Instead of Fabrizio, it's deflected. Argyle diving dig keeps it alive as Pugmire just pushes it over. Rebels live to fight another play. Set up Fabrizio. She tips it as Pugmire with the diving dig. Rebels set up the attack. Wallentine with the left-handed tip, and that's going to go under the net. Wallentine with the kill. Let's check out that play by Cassie Argyle in the back row. With that play to keep it alive, the Rebels were able to maintain and score 3-0. Also give credit to Pugmire with the diving dig. They set up Rhodes 10-foot line attack, finds that back corner. As that's a great attack from 10 feet from Rhodes. Rebels unable to do anything about it as Pugmire will check out, Smith will check in. Webb will serve. Lets it go. Smith with the dig. As it's played to the middle of the floor, Taylor will bump it over as that's going to go out of bounds across the right sideline as Taylor claps her hands, upset with herself. And has tried to be a little fine with that one as it just misses that sideline by about a foot. Good job by the Tigers to get out of the way. 3-2, Rebels on top as Argyle with the dig. Set up Taylor left wing, she attacks. Pushes it over with that right hand, Rhodes with a dig in the back right corner. As they set up Allred, her attack finds Smith. Taylor will set up left wing, attacks the right hand. Allred with the dig. Fabrizia goes back to Allred. She attacks off the arms of Smith, out of bounds. 3-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard as you can feel the Tigers starting to build a little momentum as dueling 3-0 runs to start the set. Makes this set a race to 22. Webb will serve. As that's off of Smith's arms, out of bounds. That'll be an ace for Webb. 4-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Tigers on top. Webb to serve again. In basketball, that might have been a turnover. Instead, she picks it back up. Will serve, ball over. Dug out by Argyle. That's at the front of the net as Wilson tips it over as the Tigers somehow keep that one alive. Rebels on the attack. Taylor, left wing, right hand. Diving effort in the back row by Rhodes, keeps it in the air. Fabrizio attacks middle of the floor. That's blocked and falls in on the Tigers side. As I believe that was Wallentine with the block, as she's been very, very good to go along with her 6 kills. Has a couple of blocks at the front of the net as well. 4-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard is Wilson. Serves, dug out by Fabrizio. They go to her, middle of the floor. She tips it over. Wilson diving effort to keep it alive. Off of Taylor, still in the air. Argyle plays it over. What a defensive play there by Wilson. Allred attacks left wing. Smith with the dig. Rebels set up the attack. They go Taylor, left wing, right hand. That is thumped off of the front line, off of the official stand, out of bounds. That's a kill for Violet Taylor as the official in the stand looks no worse for wear. I think that caught her in the head. As that is the 14th kill for Taylor as Wilson serves. Dug out by Rhodes. She's going to attack. That goes into the net. As since set number 3, they've been trying to set up Rhodes when she's in the back row to attack from that back row. She's been able to make it count a couple of times as the student section begins to build behind the Tigers. Wilson serve, dug out by Fabrizio. As they go to Allred, right wing. And that's deflected off the front line down on the Rebel side as Allred gets the kill. 6-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Allred with the kill. She'll get the next serve. Rebels on top by 1. Serves over. Dug out by Smith. As they set up Taylor left wing. She attacks. That's hammered home by Violet Taylor. That's kill number 15 for Violet. After she picks up the kill, she'll go serve. As Scott checks in for Argyle. Taylor's serve goes into the net. 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Fabrizio will serve for the Tigers. Fabrizio with the jump serve, lets it go. Dug out by Smith. Rebels go middle of the floor to Wallentine as she can't quite get that one. 7-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard as the Tigers tie it right back up. Fabrizio will serve again. Ball over, dug out by Smith. As the Rebels set up Scott on the left wing, she pushes it over. Allred with the dig. Tigers on the attack as Pippi attacks that ball on the back row that goes out of bounds as Violet Taylor watched that thing to the ground to make sure it was in that was across that back line. 8-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels on top. Smith will serve. Ball over, dug out by Fabrizio. As they go left wing for Rhodes, she attacks, deflected in the air. Smith gets underneath it. Rebel set up Scott, pushes it down that sideline. Fabrizio was there waiting for it. They set up Rhodes left wing. She attacks that, falls in as Rhodes picks up the kill. 8-8 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As we're going to get substitution, Sanders in for Webb. As Jensen to the line to serve. That serve goes into the net. Rebels will take the serve back, 9-8. As Ellsworth will serve. Ellsworth, couple dribbles. Serves with the right hand, ball over. Fabrizio digs it out. They set up Sanders. She attacks from the left wing as Ellsworth's able to get her arms to it. Taylor underneath it, plays it back to the middle where Wilson bumps it over. Great defensive play by the Rebels. Tigers set up as it's tipped, and it's going to fall in as the front line got their fingertips to it as Pippi tipped it over that front line. Rebels unable to get to it. 9-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rhodes will serve. Ball over, dug out by Taylor. Rebels set up Scott left wing, attacks with the right hand. That is on the floor as Hannah Scott goes opposite side of the floor. Fabrizio got her hands to it, unable to keep it in the air. Scott with her 6th kill of the game. After the kill, she'll go to the line to serve. Serve over, dug out by Fabrizio. Set up Pippi, middle of the floor. She tips it. Ellsworth dive and keep it alive. Taylor dives to keep it alive. Wilson plays it over. Too far out of bounds, or else that would have been maybe the defensive play of the year for the Rebels. So unfortunately, Violet Taylor on the move couldn't quite keep that reverse bump in bounds. I believe Ellsworth got her hands to it. Wilson got her hands to it as well. Pippi serve over the net, dug out by Taylor. Wilson plays it to the middle of the floor for Pugmire. Slaps at it. Dug out back row. Jensen sets up Allred. Ellsworth with a dig. So they go middle of the floor. As Pugmire has a block back in her face, she's able to play it back over. What a play by Pugmire. As Fabrizio attacks, Ellsworth with a dig. Wilson sets up Pugmire again. She tips it high over the net this time to avoid the block. On the attack is Allred. She finds Argyle. Wilson plays it back to the middle of the floor where Taylor just bumps it over. Tigers on the attack as they push it over to Ellsworth. Rebels set up. Taylor, left wing. She attacks right hand too far out of bounds across that back line. 11-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As we got a wet spot on the floor. As head coach Kaylee DeFea from Tabiona mops up the spot. 11-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Tigers aren't going away quietly. Rebels lead 2-1. They trail by 1 in the set as Ellsworth gets out of the way of that serve. 11-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Wallentine will serve, Wallentine checks in. Pugmire will serve. Smith steps off. Ball played over. Dug out back row by Rhodes. They set up Fabrizio, middle of the floor. Tried to tip it. Doesn't get over the net. Also probably should have been called for a lift as that ball kind of landed on her hand for a split second. Nonetheless, doesn't get over. Rebels on top, 12-11. Pugmire with the serve. It's a good dig there by Rhodes. Allred attacks. Ellsworth digs. Rebels set up Taylor left wing as she pushes it down that sideline. Jensen able to keep it alive as Allred bumps it over. Rebels set it up as Wilson with the tip. It's a good read by Jensen to keep it alive. Allred attacks. Argyle digs in the back row. Rebels set up Taylor left wing with the right hand. Diving effort to keep it alive. That's going to go across the sideline, out of bounds across that right side. Violet Taylor with another kill, 13-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Give Taylor 16 in the contest. Pugmire will serve. Ball over. Dug out by Allred as they go Fabrizio, middle of the floor. She tips it, and the Rebels are unable to get to it. As an adjustment that the Tigers have made on their returns as they go to they go to Fabrizio, middle of the floor, and she's just tipping it over the front line. Obviously, the back line of the Rebels can't cheat up too much or else she'll blast it by them. But something for the Rebels to think about. That serve dug out by Pugmire. They go Taylor, sets up on the left wing, and she attacks with the right hand. Allred with the dig. As they go to Allred, she attacks left wing, finds Argyle in the back row. Rebels set up Taylor with the right hand. She pounds that one down. Rebels go up 14-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard, as that's kill number 17 for Violet Taylor. Wilson will go to the line to serve. Ball over. Fabrizio with the dig. Jensen goes right to Fabrizio. She attacks that one, deflected high in the air. Taylor gets underneath it as they go to Ellsworth on the opposite side. She attacks. Jensen digs. As Allred attacks. Blocked to the front of the net. I think Wallenstein got to that one. It falls in on the Tigers' side. Janie Wallenstein with a huge block right there. As the front line for the Rebels have been really good at the net. By my count, they have 10 blocks in the contest as Wilson serves. Dug out, back row by Allred. They go right back to her on the opposite side, as that's going to be a lift as ball was played out a little bit in front of her. Heck of an attack, though. She did find the floor, but she kind of palmed it and flicked it back in. 16-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Wilson will serve. As we get a timeout as a player is tying their shoe. Wilson serves, ball over, dug out by Fabrizio. As it's played to Rhodes, she's going to have to bump it over. Pugmire with the dig. Rebels set up. Taylor, left wing, on the attack. The right hand off the arms of Allred into the ceiling, and that's going to fall in as Violet Taylor picks up another kill, 17-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Give Violet 18, and we're going to get a timeout called. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as we are in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. 17-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels on top. 2-1 on top in the set as well. Wilson back to the line to serve. She attacks. Ball over. Dug out by Fabrizio. Goes backwards off her arms as Rhodes plays it to the middle. Bumped over by Allred. Argyle with the dig. Rebels set up. Taylor left wing on the attack. Punches with that left hand. As Webb was there, Taylor pushes it over again with the left hand. Dug out nicely by Jensen. Fabrizio plays it over. Rebels set up the attack. Wallenstein, middle of the floor. She attacks. That's a nice dig in the back row by Rhodes. Ball over to the Rebels side. They try to set up Taylor. As that was going out of bounds and Jensen played it. And you could tell as soon as she tapped the ball, it goes off her hands out of bounds. As it's a mental mistake there from the Tigers. As you could see, she was unhappy with herself immediately. As Ellsworth, if you heard the crowd mic, someone said it was on me. That was definitely Ellsworth who said that. As her set attempt went awry. They set up Fabrizio, middle of the floor. That's blocked high in the air. As Taylor attacks, that's deflected. Taylor plays it back to Argyle. Middle of the floor for Wilson, who bumps it over. Tigers look to set up the attack. They do. Fabrizio, middle of the floor, tips it over to Pugmire. Rebels really crowding the front of the net when Fabrizio attacks. As Ellsworth attack blocked off the hands of Allred onto the Rebels side. That's a great play by Allred. She has quite a few blocks as well. By my count, she has 4. She's been very good at the front of the net. Serve over, dug out by Pugmire. Played in the middle of the floor for Wallenstein to attack. She attacks that one really well. Kept alive by the Tigers. Blocked down by Ellsworth. Kept alive by the Tigers again. Pugmire with the dig. Wilson dives, keeps it alive as Ellsworth plays it over. What a play by the Rebels. Ellsworth gets the dig as Wallenstein attacks into the net. Heck of a defensive rally, though, for the Rebels. They were on their heels the entire time, as I have no idea how Ellsworth was able to get that ball over the net inbounds, as she was at a tough angle. Call that a sharp angle shot in the NHL. Ellsworth plays the same angle, was able to keep it alive. Unfortunately, Rebels couldn't capitalize. This time attacked by Wallenstein, saved in the back row by Allred, played over by the Tigers. Rebels set up the attack. Wallenstein attacks from the 10-foot line, finds Allred, back row again. Fabrizio, she attacks. Argyle gets her hands to it. Pugmire running to keep it alive. Unfortunately, can't quite get there. Heck of a diving effort there from Pugmire, though. 18-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels up 3. Allred to serve. Her serve over the net, dug out by Pugmire as that goes right over to Fabrizio, who tips it down. Talked about Taylor not being the player you want to do that on the Rebels side. Fabrizio is the same for the Tigers as she knocks that one down right on the teeth of the Tabiona Tigers logo. Allred to serve. Pugmire digs it out. Rebels set up Taylor left wing as she tips it over. Webb plays it to Jensen as Fabrizio's going to have to bump it over. Rebels look to set up the attack again. Ellsworth goes to Taylor, left wing. She attacks. That's a nice dig there by Pippi in the back row. A couple of Tigers run into each other. Played over, and that's going to fall in as the Rebels have a miscommunication. And don't look now, 18-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels still on top. Serve over, dug out by Pugmire. Wilson sets up Taylor, left wing. She attacks. It's dug out in the back row by Pippi. They go near side Rhodes, and she finds the back corner. As we are tied 18-18, we're going to get a timeout. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ.
Welcome to the town of Randolph, located in northern Utah. The first group of settlers came from St. Charles, Idaho in March of 1870. We are a town of great extremes, from 90 degrees in the summer to minus 40 degrees in the winter, and we hold the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded in Utah at minus 50 degrees. Randolph is a small, friendly community that strives to preserve our rural heritage and small town feel. Enjoy the feeling each time you visit Randolph. Go Rebels!
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Just a quick race to 7 here in set number 4. We're tied 18-18 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Allred will serve, as she's been the catalyst for this run for Tabiona to get back in. They trailed by 5, 18-12. Actually, that's 6. Ball over. Argyle with the dig as Fabrizio attacks. Pugmire keeps it alive. Ellsworth keeps it alive. It's in on the Tigers' side. What a play defensively as they set up Rhodes left wing. She pushes it over. Wilson digs it. Rebels go to Taylor. She bumps it over. Webb digs it out. Set up Rhodes left wing attack. Pugmire keeps it alive. Wilson back to the middle of the floor where Ellsworth reverse bumps it over. Good job by the Rebels to stay alive in the rally. Go back to Fabrizio. She attacks. Tipped over. Wilson with the dig. Rebels can set up now as Ellsworth dump set. Diving effort keeps it alive on the Tabiona side as Ellsworth tries to dump set again. This one goes into the net. What a rally that was to get the 19th point. Tigers back on top as Allred will serve. Ball over. Dug out by Pugmire as Taylor plays it back to the middle of the floor. Wallenstein can't play it over. 20-18. Rebels made quite a few errors here in the last 2 sets, as I'm sure they're going to want to clean that up, but not out of it yet. 20-18. Tigers on a long run here as Smith's going to check in for Pugmire. Serve over. Smith plays it to Wilson as Taylor will bump it over from the 10-foot line. Tigers set up the attack. Jensen to Fabrizio. She attacks. That's blocked! And that's going to fall out of bounds on the Tigers' side. 21-18 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels trail by 3. We talked about on the Rebel Report this week, this place is a tough place to play. Rebels having trouble closing out the Tigers as they set up Taylor left wing. She attacks. That's deflected off the front line and in. 21-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Scott will check in for Argyle. Taylor will serve. She attacks. Dug out by Fabrizio. as they go to Rhodes on the left wing. That's off of Taylor. Bounces off the air conditioning duct, as that's a tough break for the Rebels. As there's a couple of ducks here in Tabiona that hang really low. The ball got caught up in between the two. And because it's on the Rebel side, it is not a point, or excuse me, the point does go to the Tigers. And that's a really tough break. Fabrizio to the line to serve. She attacks. Smith with the dig. As the Rebels set up Scott left wing. She pummels that one off the front line, out of bounds. Hannah Scott picks up the kill. That's her 7th. To go along with a block and a pair of aces, as Smith will serve. Her serve is out of bounds across that sideline. When you're trying to come back, that's a tough break, as Sanders is going to check in for Webb. Jensen will serve. As she gets out of the way of that one, I don't think she liked the way she tossed that up. We'll reset, do it again. Jensen lets it go. As Taylor gets out of the way, as that's a service error against Jensen, as Taylor ducked out of the way at the last second. 23-21 on the Station on Main scoreboard, with Ellsworth to the line to serve. Attacks, ball over, dug out by the Tigers. As they go to the opposite side, Taylor with the dig, that hits that duct again, bounces around. Pugmire, great concentration, keeps it alive to Wilson. As the Tigers set up the attack, they do. Rhodes left wing, that's going to fall in on that back left corner. Tigers are 1 point away from extending this one, 24-21, as we get another timeout. As you are watching 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ.
Buying or selling real estate can be fun, especially when you have a realtor that's working hard on your behalf. Gary McKee and the team at Bear Lake Realty have unparalleled industry knowledge, experience, and local expertise. The team at Bear Lake Realty will work to get you the best price. Whatever you're looking for, buying or selling, residential, commercial, year-round living, half shares, quarter shares, or income property, hire the best real estate company, Bear Lake Realty. Log on today, bearlakerealty.com.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tigers broadcast booth. 24-21 as the Tigers 1 point away from forcing a 5th set. The Rebels went up 2-0. Tigers come back, win the third set 25-23. They are ahead 24-21 as the Rebels are going to have to rally here. And now the crowd's really getting into it as Rhodes will serve. Lets it go. Smith with the dig. Rebels set up Scott left wing. She attacks. That's off the back row. As Allred attacks, that's in as we're going to set number 5. As you're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as listening in on 98.3 KDQ. We'll be back right after this.
Rich School District has a legendary history of student success in the classroom and in other areas. Over 70% of Rich High students are involved in extracurricular activities. Participation in the classroom, on the field, in the gym, or on the stage helps students reach their potential. Working together with students, the community, and an amazing staff, we have the opportunity to build tomorrow's leaders. Rich School District, focusing on success, one student at a time.
The Hometown Drive-In has been helping families celebrate and create happy memories at beautiful Bear Lake for generations. With amazing burgers, fries, and other Hometown Drive-In favorites, the food is always delicious and everyone in the family will find something they love. Whenever you're at Bear Lake, make sure you stop. Beautiful blue water and Bear Lake raspberry shakes have been making people smile for generations. Put a smile on your face at the Hometown Drive-In, Bear Lake.
The season continues to roll on as the Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team will pack up, hit the road to take.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tigers broadcast booth. It is time for decisive set 5 here watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. Tabiona wins that second set 25-21. As it's down to that decisive set 5. It's a race to 15. As the Rebels were ahead pretty big midway through that set, and it kind of fell apart on them. As they have to regroup here. Of course, set number 5 is first to 15 points. As we got 2 minutes left to go in the timeout in between. I'm sure the Rebels are going to want to try to use as much time as possible. Try to let the air out of this building a little bit as the set progressed. The crowd started to believe, and it gets loud here in Tabiona. Like, almost loud enough to where it makes a difference. Lex Cornea, of course, the varsity basketball coach for the boys' side, says that Tabiona probably has a 5-point advantage just because of their crowd, just how loud they can get. You could hear how loud they got after that final kill in set number 5, or excuse me, set number 4. If you're the Rebels, you'll get this serve first. Try to start on the front foot here, of course, as they race to 15. This is a similar situation that Tabiona was in yesterday, as they played 5 sets against Manila. Manila came out with the win, but Rebels looking to hand Tabiona their second 5th set loss in a row as we get our final checks over on the Tabiona side. They'll check over on the Rebel side, and after they do, Smith will check in. Hannah Scott will serve first for the Rebels, as this is what you play for. A decisive 5th set on the road at Tabiona. As Smith will check in for Wallentine. Scott will serve. As the buzzer goes off, that signifies that we are ready to go. Ball in the air, 5th set underway as that is dug out by Allred. They go right back to her on the left wing. She attacks, that's deflected high in the air. Taylor digs it out. Rebels go to Pugmire, she punches it over. Diving effort, keep it alive on the Tabiona side. Into the net, that falls in on the Tiger side. Rebels pick up the point. Heck of an effort there from Rhodes to try to keep that ball alive. Fortunately, when she played it too close to the net as the Tigers were unable to play it over. Scott will serve. Dug out back row by Allred. They go right back to her left wing attack. As she mishits that one, it falls in. 2-0 Rebels on the station on main scoreboard. As we're going to get a talk real quick as the line judge. I'm not quite sure what the talk is, but might have been about the noise, and to make sure that if the whistle isn't heard, to let Scott know to serve, as that one served. Saved by Fabrizio as Jensen plays it over with the reverse bump. Scott digs it out. Rebels set up the attack. Taylor, left wing, punches it over with the left hand. Jensen with the running dig. As they go to Allred, she tips it over. Ellsworth's there to answer. As a battle at the net, as Wilson keeps it alive for the moment, as that's couple of really good efforts there by the Rebels to keep it alive. Unfortunately, it goes under the net, as it might have been double hit by Casey, though, before that. It'll be Pippi to serve. Serve over. That's into the net as a service error gives the Rebels the ball back. 3-1 on the station on main scoreboard as Wallentine checks in for Smith. Pugmire will serve. She steps into a left-handed serve, ball over. Dug out, back row by Pippi. They set up Rhodes from the 10-foot line. Ellsworth with a nice dig there. Taylor, left wing, attacks right hand, that's deflected. Good job by Rhodes to get underneath that one. Allred, left wing, she'll attack, that goes into the net. 4-1 on the station on main scoreboard as Pugmire will serve again. 6 on the floor for the Rebels. Pugmire, Ellsworth, Argyle in the back row. Taylor, Wallentine, Wilson in the front row. That serves over the net by Pugmire. Set up the attack as Fabrizio attacks from the 10-foot line. Pugmire digs it out. Rebels go Taylor as she pushes it with the left hand. Good job by Allred to read that. Fabrizio attacks from the 10-foot line. Pugmire digs it out. Rebels go to Taylor, right wing with the right hand. Left wing with the right hand. It's a good read in the back by Rhodes. Fabrizio attacks. That's off of Argyle, out of bounds. if Argyle doesn't get her hands to it, that lands inbounds either way. As there's a really good attack from Fabrizio. 4-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Give credit to this Tigers team. They were down 2-0, and they've rallied back to force this 5th set as Webb will serve. As that goes out of bounds across the left wing sideline. 5-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Wilson back to the line to serve. Ball goes over, dug out, back road by Rhodes. They go Fabrizio, she tips it, nice read by Ellsworth as she gets to that one. Taylor attacks left wing. Finds that back row, it's gonna fall in on the Tabiona side as Allred got the, actually make that Pippi with the dig. No one from Tabiona stepped to the ball. 6-2 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard with Wilson to serve. Ball over, dug out by Fabrizio. As they set up Allred, she attacks as that's gonna fall in on the Rebels side. Allred with the kill. It's a funky looking play as I think Allred only got like her fingertips on it, but was able to tip it hard enough to get it over the net and land on the Rebels side. After the kill, Allred will go to the line to serve. Ball over, dug out by Argyle. As the Rebels go to Taylor, as she'll punch at it with the left hand. That's gonna be blocked in by Fabrizio. 6-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Remember back to set number 2, the Rebels were up 6 with Allred at the line to serve for the Tigers. And this is where they made their comeback to tie it up. As she lets the serve go. It bounces, we're gonna reset, do it again. Let's the serve go, that's into the net, 7-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Scott will check in for Argyle as Taylor will serve. Taylor serve over the net, dug out by Fabrizio. Jensen goes right back to Fabrizio. She unloads off the front line, out of bounds, as it's 7-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Fabrizio picks up another kill. That's her 10th. Fabrizio will attack. Ball over, dug out by Scott. As they go right back to her on the left wing. She attacks right hand, Fabrizio with the dig. As a couple of Tigers nearly run into each other, they'll have to bump it over. Rebels set it up. As they go Scott left wing, she attacks. That's off the arms of Allred, out of bounds as Hannah Scott picks up the kill. 8-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Of course, we are in the decisive set number 5 with Smith to the line to serve. That's 8 kills for Scott. Smith lets the serve go. Fabrizio is able to get it in the air. As Pippi tries to attack, Rebels keep it alive for the moment as that was deflected off the front line, got away from the back line. As Pippi just tipped it over, Sanders checks in. Webb checks out. Jensen to the line to serve, 8-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. So that serve over the net, dug out by Smith as Wilson sets up Ellsworth. She attacks. That's down as Ava Ellsworth picks up the kill. Attack from the opposite side on the right wing. Picks up her 2nd of the contest. As after the kill, Ellsworth will serve. 9-6 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. That right hand ball over, dug out by Rhodes. Played back to the middle for Sanders, who has to bump it over from out of bounds as Pugmire tips it. Good effort there by Pippi to keep it alive. They go Rhodes, left wing attack. Taylor with the dig. Rebel set up Scott, left wing, as she pushes over 2 hands. Finds the arms of Rhodes. Tiger set up Rhodes, left wing. She attacks. Taylor with the dig. Rebel set up again. Scott, she'll attack from the left wing. Right hand, that's blocked high in the air, back to the Rebel side. Taylor finds Wilson to Scott on the left wing. She attacks. That's off the arms, out of bounds as Hannah Scott picks up another big kill for the Rebels. Her 9th of the game. Gives the Rebels 10 here in set number 5 as we're going to get a timeout called by the Tigers. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ. More from the Les Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth after this.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team, online at mylocalradio.com. Horn sounds, Rebels ready to go. Ellsworth will serve. Couple dribbles. Attacks with that right hand. Ball over. Fabrizio off her arms, out of bounds. Ava Ellsworth with a big ace in set number 5. 11-6 Rebels on the station on main scoreboard. Back to the line for Ellsworth. As that one's off her hand into the net. The service ace, the service line giveth and taketh there. Rebels still up 4 with 4 to gain to win. Rhodes will serve for the Tigers. Ball over. Taylor with the dig. Rebels set up Pugmire from the 10-foot line, middle of the floor. She taps it over to Fabrizio. They set up Allred. That's off the net, dances around. Wilson with the dig. As Scott pushes over to that back left corner. Nice read by Rhodes. As they set up Allred left wing, she attacks. Smith keeps it alive. Scott diving, can't get to it. 11-8 on the station on main scoreboard. As Rhodes will serve again. Rhodes attacks. Ball over, dug out by Taylor. Wilson keeps it in the air for Scott with the right side, or excuse me, the right hand on the left wing. Wilson dump set. As that's palmed into the net by Allred. Rebels pick up the point there, 12-8 on the station on main scoreboard as Wilson tried to dump set. Allred tried to attack quickly off the dump set. Was unable to get it over the net. 12-8 on the station on main scoreboard. We are tied at 2 sets here in set number 5 as Scott with the jump serve, right hand, ball over. Dug out by Allred. Set up Allred on the attack. She pushed over, blocked by Pugmire to the ground. Haiti Pugmire, senior with the big play. 13-8 on the station on main scoreboard. Rebels 2 away. That is her 5th block by my count. And she has affected far many more attacks than that with just her presence at the net. Scott attacks, ball over. Dug out by Fabrizio. Set up middle of the floor as Ellsworth digs it out. Smith runs over, keeps it alive for the moment. That's into the net. It's a good attempt there by the Rebels as Ellsworth with a tough dig. Smith hustled over to keep it alive as the Rebels check out Scott, bring in Argyle. It's Peyton Pippi. Serves, ball over, Smith with the dig. As it's played to the middle of the floor where Taylor calls off Smith. Good communication there. Tigers on the attack. Fabrizio, middle of the floor, pushes it over to the hands of Paige Smith. Rebels attack. Taylor, left wing. That's down! Rebels a point away from escaping Tabiona with the 5-set victory. 14-9 on the station on main scoreboard with Pugmire to the line to serve. Not before Wallentine will check in for Smith. Pugmire with that left hand. Ball over. Dug out in the back row by Rhodes. As they go Allred, attacks left wing. That's in! As Tabiona will not go into that that good night quietly. As that's a great attack there from Rhodes. Rhodes into double figures in the kill category as well. Her and Fabrizio with 10 apiece. Webb with the serve. Ball in the air. Dug out by Smith. Rebels set up the attack. Taylor, left wing, right hand. That's deflected high in the air. Good dig by Rhodes as she flips her hands over. Allred attacks. Smith digs it out back row for the Rebels. Taylor, left wing, right hand. That's off the back row. Tapped into the air. Tigers have to tap it over. Rebels set up the attack again. Smith goes middle of the floor. Wallentine tips it. Good read there by Webb to keep it alive. Allred attacks left wing. Ellsworth with the dig. Smith Goes to Taylor, left wing, right hand. That's down, and the Rebels escape Tabiona with a 5-set win. As you are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuned in on 98.3 KADQ. When we come back, we will have your Independent Software Solutions postgame show. After this, a message from our sponsors.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Great signage is an important component to any successful business. It lets your customers know they have arrived at your doors, and it's a constant advertisement of who you are. When you install LED signage, you're taking it one step further. The ability to create color messages that move is an attention grabber. Plus, you can change the message whenever you would like. Make your business stand out with an LED sign from Rocky Mountain Sign, providing service, installation, and maintenance on all signage. Rocky Mountain Sign, licensed in Wyoming and Utah. Call today for a quote, 307-789-5202.
We're off to the rodeo. My Local Rodeo is proud to bring you live streaming coverage of high school rodeo from Utah and Wyoming, as well as the Intermountain Icebreaker of the National High School Rodeo Association's Western Legacy Series in 2023 and 2024. If you're interested in becoming a broadcast sponsor and advertising your business to the most loyal group of viewers in the country, you won't find a better opportunity. Call us today to claim your spot, 307-789-8116. That's 307-789-8116. We're off to the rodeo.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Fast, fresh, delicious. 3 words that describe your experience every time you enjoy a delicious meal with Jimmy John's. Utilizing the freshest ingredients, home-baked bread, and professional sandwich building skills, the team at Jimmy John's always delivers a mouth-watering sandwich to satisfy any hunger. Jimmy John's. Freaky fast, freaky fresh. Visit any of our locations today in Evanston, Rock Springs, Sheridan, and Gillette.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth, as it is time for your Independent Software Solutions post-game show as the Rebels take care of Tabiona 3-2. They win the first 2 sets 25-9 and 25-12 before Tabiona responded 25-23, 25-21, and the Rebels win the 5th set 15-10. As it's pretty apropos that that finishes on Violet Taylor's 20th kill of the contest, as she was attacking from that left wing like a maniac tonight. As the Rebels, I think they're going to be unhappy with themselves that they went to 5 sets. But, you know, myself and Elon Olive talked about it on the Rebel Report. Thursdays, 10:30 a.m. on 99.1, 4:30 p.m. on 98.3. Talked about how tough of a place this is to play. And, yes, you dominated the first 2 sets. And, Tabiona made quite a few mistakes in those first 2 sets, let's be honest. They were able to clean it up in sets 3 and 4. And this Tabiona team's good enough to where if you're making mistakes on your own side, they can make it hurt, as they did against the Rebels in those 2 sets. Rebels able to stave off defeat as they win 15-10 in set number 3. And really, they kept their poise. They could have gotten upset with each other, started arguing with each other. Instead, they stayed positive. And that's the best way to get through it, as volleyball is such a momentum sport that things can get away from you very quickly. And this time they were able to keep it together as the Rebels win. It doesn't really matter how many sets you win in. They're going to be unhappy with a 5-set win, but what matters is that you get the W, and they got the W tonight, as that is your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. When we come back, we'll have some Town of Woodruff post-match highlights for you. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in at 98.3 KDQ.
Established in 1872, Woodruff, Utah has a long history of good neighbors helping each other succeed. Woodruff was built with hard work, integrity, and a sense of community that can be felt every time you visit. We have always celebrated all students in academics and extracurricular activities, and we cheer on our rich rebels. Woodruff, Utah, a great place to live.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for your post-match highlights, brought to you by the Town of Woodruff on the Independent Software Solutions post-game show. And we're going to start on the attack. Violet Taylor, 20 kills in the match. She had a block as well. Hannah Scott came on strong at the end with 8 kills. As we talked about in those first 2 sets, she didn't get to play very much because of the rotation. It never really got back to her on the attack. She finishes with 8, as she was very good in sets 3 through 5. Janie Wallenstein comes in third with 6 kills. Haiti Pugmire with the pair. Ava Ellsworth with the pair as well. Pugmire leads the way with blocks. She had 5. Wallenstein with 3. Scott had a block as well to go along with Violet Taylor's block. And from the service line, 6 aces for the Rebels on the day. Scott and Wilson both had 2. Ava Ellsworth and Paige Smith with an ace apiece. Of course, Ava's ace coming late in set number 5. As the Rebels, they were able to, ward off the attack, as it's really hard to sweep a team on their own floor. You get to that 3rd set and their backs are against the wall. Teams start to play a lot looser. What are you going to do? What's the worst thing that can happen is already what is happening if you're down 0-2 in sets. So the Tabiona Tigers, I think they played a lot more loose in sets 3 and 4. They tightened way up in sets 5, as really the difference in set 5 were the service aces that the Tigers committed. But Rebels will take it. Doesn't necessarily matter how you win as long as you win, as the Rebels do win in 5 sets. When we come back, we'll have your precision play of the game as well as your player of the game. You are watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in at 98.3 KDQ.
Precision, the quality, condition, or fact of being exact and accurate.
Precision is important. Scoring the next point, making the perfect shot, getting the best score. And when you think of your dentist, you want precision to be the first word that comes to mind. That's why patients are so pleased with Dr. McKay Frankum. He provides precision family dentistry at reasonable prices to every patient. Dr. McKay Frankum, call today for an appointment.
Call Dr. McKay Frankum at 789-8910.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for your Dr. McKay Frankum precision play of the game. And for that, we're going to give it to Violet Taylor, that final kill of the contest, as she got it in between the two blockers down on the Tabiona side, as that really propelled the Rebels to the final point in the match, and very fitting that it was Taylor with the final kill. As when we come back, we'll have your player of the game brought to you by the Crawford Trough. You're watching the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com, as well as tuning in on 98.3 KDQ.
Whether you're having a great day or not, food always makes it better. Delicious, fresh-cooked favorites like a juicy cheeseburger, a thick raspberry shake, onion rings, fries, or a River Bridge soda. A grilled chicken wrap always hits the spot. And don't forget twisted ice cream cones. They never disappoint. Add the always friendly and helpful staff at the Crawford Trough, and you've got the perfect recipe for a perfect meal. Something tasty from the Crawford Trough always makes your day better. Stop in today. The Crawford Trough, Randolph.
Dealing with computer problems can be frustrating and make you wish for your own personal IT guy. Now, everyone can afford an IT guy. Independent Software Solutions has served customers in Wyoming and Utah for over 20 years. We develop software, handle system and network administration, repair personal and business computers, and sell accessories. Independent Software Solutions is your one-stop computer business solution. Call today, 307-789-1978. Let Independent Software Solutions be your IT guy.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth in the middle of the 2023 Rich Rebels varsity volleyball team online at mylocalradio.com. Rebels win this one 3-2 after winning the first 2 sets. Tabiona comes back and nearly pulls off the complete comeback from down 0-2. But it's time for the Crawford Trough player of the game, and it has to be Violet Taylor with her 20 kills on the attack. She was impressive for the Rebels, as those kills, they needed them all. They needed every single one of those kills from Taylor, because it was a very close match. Tabiona at the end, they came storming back, as we talked about earlier, letting this crowd get into the match. And I think that's why it was important for the Rebels to try to finish it off in 3. They had a bad 3rd set and a bad 4th set. And, you know, the saving grace of those is they didn't play their best volleyball, and they still only lost by 2 and 4 points respectively. So, I mean, it is what it is. Doesn't really matter how many sets you win in on that record tomorrow. It's going to be 7-5. But Violet Taylor was definitely the catalyst for this game with 20 kills, as she had a block as well. It's time for your calendar update. The next Rich Rebels broadcast will be on Thursday, as the Rebels welcome in the Lyman Eagles. It is homecoming week, as Friday will be the homecoming football game. Saturday, the homecoming volleyball game, as the football game is against not Altamont, it's against Kemmer, as the volleyball game is against Tintic, as the Rebels will welcome in the Eagles and Tintic next week. So I believe they're the Miners. Not much that we know about Tintic, but it's always fun to see a new team come in to the gymnasium at Rich High School, as the Rebels will have homecoming week. So look out for that next week, as some of the festivities that will happen throughout the week. As I'm Aaron Poling. Until next time, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of mylocalradio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. Thank you for joining us for this sports presentation on mylocalradio.com.